Daughters, that's granddaughters. Okay. All set? Let's call the Pipestone City Council meeting for March 2nd, 2026 to order, please. Could I have a roll call?
Mayor Delaney?
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt?
Here.
Councilmember Thompson? Here. Councilmember Swanson?
Here.
Councilmember Colbeck?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If you're able, please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. Is there any additions, changes, or deletions to our agenda? And hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say no, and motion carries. The consent agenda, that contains the February 17th, 2026 regular meeting minutes, the payment of claims, and the listing of bills. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say no, and motion carries. Community concerns. Do we have any community concerns electronically or?
Nope.
Okay, all right. And no one is here, so, okay, we'll move on then to new business. And I asked Megan to put on the County Road 25 discussion with the county that just came up recently, just so that we could talk about it, or if there was any citizens that wanted to talk about it. And that's a project that it's County Road 25, if you're familiar with it at all. That is north-south gravel road directly east of Pipestone. And that would be the first gravel road from Highway 30 to Highway 23. And the county's plan is to pave that this year. And so the concern that came up at the Road and Bridge meeting was that that may be a bypass for the businesses along Highway 2375 corridor and also 7530 corridor going through town. And the intent is not to be a bypass. But the concern would be, you know, with Google Maps, people follow Google Maps blindly. It's just the way people drive nowadays. And if that becomes a route that people would be traveling from South 75, for example, to North 23, that was the concern. There's no evidence to indicate that it would affect business climate. There's no evidence to indicate that it wouldn't affect the business climate. It was just a concern that was brought up. So wanted to bring it up at the council level in case the council members had any businesses contact them if there was any concerns or at all. This would be our opportunity to discuss it. And then it also gives the public a chance to know this is in the process. The county has let bids for it, and they are scheduled to open those bids on March 18th and then make their final decision. But they have bought right away. They have they intend to move ahead just based on the discussion that
I was out there. They have staked out.
Yeah.
So they weren't.
But it's not a done deal until those bids come in, because that's when they would make the motion to move ahead or not at that time, so.
And I guess one of my concerns too was with the Casey Jones Trail there, with paving that, the traffic is going to increase, the speed is going to increase, and then also from the city side, is that going to bring more truck traffic to our minimum maintenance road just to the south of that? And are we going to have to put more efforts into, I mean, we maintain it as it is, but that's goes right into the backside of industrial.
It's posted at a lot lower.
Yeah, it's the axle weight they want to build up.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that.
You know, the trail is a good thing, and My personal feeling is just to make sure that for the trail standpoint, coming from both directions, that they have the proper signage needed for them trails.
Yeah,
There's
You know,
more
slow
stop
it down.
signs at that trail intersection.
well,
Right
there's,
now, on the trail. There's
Yeah.
stop signs on the trail. There's one on the pavement, big stop sign each way, and there's a, where they see it's a paved trail. So the studded snowmobiles, they groom the ditch part of it, and there's stop signs for that traffic also.
Yep.
And I just don't know why it's a city, I mean, why the city wants to tell the county that we're not interested in paving that, because I don't think the people that, if they have concerns, they should take it up with the county, not with the city. I mean, if there's businesses that think they're going to be affected, I think they should be at the county and say, no, we don't want it. But I could see the people that live along there, that's just, there's a lot of traffic goes on there already. I don't know if it's, you know, I see so many cars on that, and especially like livestock trailers and stuff going to sales barn, and it's dusty, and I could see the people living on it. I can see where they're,
yeah,
upset with
I
it.
see what you're saying, Roger. But I also think from a city standpoint, we should be concerned because if people start bypassing us, that affects,
But it's not our property.
it's not, but
right, but we can't just put our heads in the sand and ignore it. And I think it's a situation where County Road 25 is a county state aid road. That puts it at exactly the same level as any other county state aid road, including the routes in the city limits of Pipestone. And they're putting a great deal of money and county state aid money into that gravel road. And we all know that they haven't put one penny into state aid money into the roadways here in the city limits. To me, that seems like it's an unjust and not a proper way for governments to work together. And again, I am not trying to say that the city wants to see that project stopped. What I am saying is that there has to be better discussion, there has to be better communication, and there should be more collaboration on how that state aid money is spent. And this will benefit 3 families greatly. And I understand that if I was one of those families, I would certainly like to see it paved too. But there is a safety factor there. And this will be letting out onto 23 right at a curve section. And that curve, if it's hard to say how many vehicles will be turning to the northeast and how many will be turning to the southwest, but the ones turning to the southwest from that intersection, right at a curve, that has to be a safety factor. And we all know that safety factors are a concern when it comes time to work with roadways. We just went through something like that. Another thing they're doing is they're removing the stop sign at County Road 25 and County 67 intersection. So there won't be a stop sign there like there is now. It will be a straight path through north or
The
south.
stop sign will probably go the other way though.
Right.
So they're not removing it.
They're moving it off County Road 25.
Yeah.
So
They're going to stop the
if
traffic.
you'd allow me to finish, I could complete what I was going to say. So what that will do is that even would make it more, probably there would be more traffic speeding in that area because there's not going to be a stop sign on County Road 25, which makes it a little bit more serious for that crosswalk area across where the trail is, because the pedestrians would have the right of way. And I agree with Scott. We need to make sure that there's proper signage there. And it's it's one of the busiest gravel roads that the county has. That's what they say. And I think some type of lighted crosswalk signage, like what we have on Highway 30, near the aquatic center would be appropriate for that area. And I think the county needs to be looking into that if they're updating this area in that way, simply as a safety factor.
There is places, I mean, that you have trail crossings that they put out markings for and so forth, and that would be a good deal for them.
Yeah, they have to have the crossings there. In fact, they have to have that crossing paved the way it sounded, even on other gravel roads.
Yep.
And so, I would hope that they go ahead and enhance that, but our conversations that we had at that road and bridge meeting, they really hadn't talked about, signage. And, we talked about a speed limit, and the speed limit is set by DOT, so it would be difficult, according to Nick, the county engineer, to have that speed limit reduced. So that's something else that probably would make sense to have that a 50 zone. But you have to at least start the conversation and go from there. Stephanie did mention that we'd like to work closer with the county during that Road and Bridge Commission meeting, that with the streets that we have in town here that are state aid, that are used by more than just the city people. When you start talking about the hospital, that's used by the entire county between the hospital and the hospice area. And so that county state aid money is something that still needs to be discussed. And I don't have statistics, but when they're talking about that gravel road being the busiest gravel road for a county state aid road, I think the busiest paved county state aid road was our main street. And there's certainly a big discrepancy in the funding that they're using.
The city has, I believe it's 6.5 miles of county state aid
Right,
roads that we maintain in town here.
right,
And then the county has, several miles of county state aid also.
right. So I thought it was worthwhile to have the discussion. If the council wants to make a formal recommendation, that's all it would be. We have no right to tell the county how they do business, but this on the agenda, and that's why I wanted to have it just brought out for public awareness.
I would make the suggestion that they do their due diligence to make sure that there's proper signage for the trail in advance and at the trail for the crossing to, not wish we would have later and before somebody gets hit, just to make sure that everything is up to code or whatever for that crossing.
I'll second that.
Yeah, is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, okay. Any discussion, questions?
Something that we can bring up to law enforcement, if they do pave it, is when they start putting traffic over it, have it patrol a little heavier to start with.
But keep in mind now, this is not in the city limits,
Yes,
so
I know that.
that would be
The
something.
deputies would be the ones patrolling it.
Yeah.
So the law enforcement should patrol that heavier to start with to kind of slow that traffic down.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but that's the county
Yeah.
issue. So, yeah, okay, all right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no, and motion carries. Resolution 2026-13, this resolution approving the transfer of funds. In having received water infrastructure funds from the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority, the city is required to annually deposit a minimum of 50 cents per 1,000 gallons of flow for major rehabilitation, expansion, or replacement of the treatment system at the end of its useful life. This resolution, if approved, will authorize the transfer of $68,891 from the water fund to the special water infrastructure fund. Entertain a motion.
Make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions, discussion? I guess my question or discussion would be, this is a state mandate, correct?
Essentially through the PFA.
Yeah. And, I don't know how many years we are out for any expansion or changing of our water treatment plant, because we have a very good water treatment plant. But this is kind of telling us that we have to move funds out of our water fund, which is something that's short. And I think it's overbearing of the state to have to require this.
Well, we gotta put that kind of money aside every year.
Yep.
So how much
if we're
is
gonna
in there?
continue to get grants and loans through the PFA, they want the city to show that we've got adequate rates and funds set aside so that they're not just supplying money for these projects that we have skin in the game to.
But these funds would be used for,
Help pay down our debt that we've got
okay,
through the PFA loans.
okay. So we can use them? We can use the fund?
They're restricted, but it's building a fund for future replacements.
Okay. Well, Verdine has a very good question. How many dollars are in that fund right now?
That I could not tell you.
Okay,
Haven't looked on the computer.
okay. But it just kind of ties our hands a little bit, and I understand, yeah, they're protecting themselves a little bit, and we want to make sure we're following the rules so that we're eligible for grants, because we will have projects in the future, but to me, it just seems a little bit extending from the state. So we have a motion on the floor.
And second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, and motion carries. Resolution 2026-14, this resolution accepts the following donations. And from the Carnegie Corporation of New York, they have donated $10,000 to the Minders Community Library. And Mick and LaDonna Myers have donated $25 to Lights at the Lodge. I'd entertain a motion to accept these donations.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, and motion carries. Resolution 2026-15, this is a resolution for application to apply to the Drinking Water Revolving Fund for the lead service line replacement project. And by approving this resolution, the city is hereby applying to the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority for a loan and/or grant from their Drinking Water Revolving Fund for a lead service line replacement project as described in the application. And I believe that's up to $1 million. It was. So significant funds, and I'd entertain a motion for approval of this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, and motion carries. Resolution 2026-16, this is a resolution of application to apply to the Drinking Water Revolving Fund for the 2nd Street Southeast Distribution Project. By approving this resolution, the city is applying to the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority for a loan from the Drinking Revolving Fund for improvements to the municipal drinking water system as described in the loan application. So I'd entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, and motion carries. And finally, Resolution 2026-17, this is a resolution approving the plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for the proposed 2nd Avenue Southwest Street and Utility Improvement Project. The deadline for receiving bids will be 6:30 p.m. on April 20th, 2026, and the bids received will be open during the April 20th council meeting. And so this will all goes in coincides with what we just approved, and this would be the street project for 2026. Any questions, comments? The utility committee has been discussing this, and they are in full agreement that we should be moving ahead with that project. Okay,
Did I hear you correctly? What was the bid date?
it's going to be April 20th.
20th, okay.
Yep,
Because I got two different.
April 6th. April
It's
6th.
April 6th but,
To open and consider bids on the 20th.
oh, okay, so, all right, so let's make that correct here. The deadline for receiving the bids
Different date.
will be 6:30 PM on April 20th.
April 6th.
April
No, received on April 6th,
Okay, they'll be received on April 6th.
but consider.
And then the bids will be opened on April 20th?
They'll be open on the 6th, but considered for award on the 20th.
Okay,
Travis will go through and he'll review everything and present it again on the 20th.
so April 6th is correct then on both?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's leave it then at April 6th. And do we have a motion on the floor?
So move.
second.
And it's been moved and seconded. Any other questions, discussion? Thanks for bringing that up, Roger, because,
I had one here and one.
yeah. I had
Otherwise.
the 20th on both of them, so. Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no, and motion carries. Council liaison reports, and Roger, do you have any reports?
The last, fire department, relief meeting I was at, the only two things that they were working on was the bylaw change for the new yearly benefit that was approved. And then also they were looking into the clarification in the bylaws for the responding time. So if it has changed, and they just wanted to make sure that they follow it correctly because it does involve some of the members, so. And that's the things they were working on at the last meeting, so.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Scott, do you have any reports?
Utility committee met on February 11th. We discussed, the proper sewer line placement and whatnot that would be needed for the potential housing project on 8th Avenue Northwest. We discussed the 2nd Avenue Southwest project with the bids going out, which we had just talked about in our meeting tonight. And we discussed the Hiawatha Pageant Trail flat grant, which was on our last meeting. And we discussed the roof leaking on the City Hall building here, which we're gonna be looking to get repaired. We discussed the Toggery Cleaners building, and there was gonna be further discussion with the owner, Bob Longstreet, on that. And we discussed the utility easements that were also approved at the last council meeting. And the right-of-way easements, right-of-way management ordinance and applications we discussed at the last council meeting. And then also the easements for the Dowdy subdivision, because the city has to have some easements in place for the sewer and water for potential repairs and whatnot. And that was it for that one.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was at the same utility committee meeting, and I'll just say ditto to everything you said, because, yeah, it was a busy meeting and got a lot accomplished, a lot to talk about. Our planning commission did not meet. We had no business. And Human Rights Commission met on the same night as the last council meeting, so I was unable to attend that, but we did have an executive committee meeting from the Human Rights Commission, and that was in regards to membership of the Human Rights Committee. And no final decisions were made at that time, but that's all I have to report. Verdine.
Yeah, well, Veterans Memorial Committee met a couple times this month. Nothing really to report there. A lot of discussion going on. The stones are in Sioux Falls, ready to be edged. And they will bring them and place them as they get them done.
Okay. At West Paget Park, anything there?
No,
Okay,
we haven't met. We meet this month.
okay. I see they were taking every other tree out along the east side and the north side.
Just cleaning up some ash trees.
Okay, all right. Is there, with that proposed trail system, do those north trees have to come out too though eventually? All of them?
I don't believe all of them.
don't think it was all.
Only a couple of them up kind of by the chambers sign, I think,
Okay.
that needed to be taken out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it looks nice what's been done, so yeah, just notice that and, yeah. Okay. And Danielle?
I have nothing to report. I missed the last library board meeting,
Okay,
so,
all right, okay.
nope.
Let's move on to closing comments. Any closing comments? No, okay. All right. Well, I don't have any closing comments myself, so I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
so moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no, and motion carries. Our adjourned. Thanks.